afternoon. I'm Daphne Liu. I was fortunate to be Rodolfo's office mate in the past 6 years. He was a knowledgeable and kind person. If I am asked to use one word to summarize my expression about him, I would choose the word books. Several years ago, we both were invited as counselors to visit an NSF summer research program at Cal Lutheran University. I offered to write. On this 2 or 3 hours ride, I learned that Rodolfo grew up from a poor family with many children. Nevertheless, the books were the most valuable thing in the family. Books were the center of his childhood. He continued this habit throughout his life. He had read an extremely wide range of books. Besides mathematics, he also read books in philosophy, politics, literature, economics, and history, and so on. Our short conversations at office were usually about books or students. Sometimes he would bet about who would be the winner of the next Nobel Prize winner in literature. When he was on campus, if not helping with students, he was usually at the library. Often, he came to office with a roller full of books. Very heavy. When my son Anthony started to learn Spanish during his first grade, Rodolfo gave me a Spanish picture book, which Anthony enjoyed so much, reading, laughing from the book millions of times. Last summer, we had a family trip to China. Before the trip, Rodolfo gave me these 2 books, 2 big books. He said it's great for the kids to learn. These are 2 books about ancient history of China and culture. He told me it's great for the kids to learn more about the culture that their parents are from. Rodolfo was a very kind colleague. Besides the good advice and help and teaching that I received from him, the one that I will remember the most was 2 years ago, when my husband was diagnosed with cancer. It was during summer and was a total shock. Rodolfo called me right away, talked me on the phone for a long period of time. He gave me all advice about choices of hospitals, pros and cons, doctors, experts in local areas, as well as other good advices. That phone call supported me greatly during one of the most difficult times in my life. Rodolfo had made tremendous impact on the lives of many students. I think one unique thing about his teaching is he was always 10 or 20 minutes early to his classes, comparing to us. He seemed to have so much energy, always so much energy, helping and inspiring his students, especially for minority students. I was fortunate to work with him as an instructor at the Young Scholars Program, NSF Young Scholars Program, for 2 summers. Marshall was also an instructor for those 2 summers. Rodolfo was so energetic with classes and activities in the program. The most amazing thing to me was his interaction and rapport with the students. Some of you might still remember Rosa Orinala, who was the assistant of the program throughout all the years. And she was then an undergraduate student at Cal State LA. I met Rosa a few years ago at the math conference at East Coast. She is now tenured assistant professor at Dartmouth College. When Rosa got her tenure at Dartmouth, Rudolfo was one of the first people she notified. She regrets for not being able to be with us today. Here is what she wrote and asked me to share with you. Quote, Dr. Tomas was a caring mentor for me while I was at Cal State. During my years there, he was my professor for history of math and projective geometry. I worked for his Young Scholars program from the starting to the end. He also supervised my research for the MARC program through the chemistry department. In the classroom, he was an energetic and inspiring teacher. To me, it was obvious that he cared deeply for his students. As an employer, he was caring and fair. He always made sure that we were not overworked. When he supervised my research project, although not in his area of research, he made sure to put me in contact with Professor Nillett at UC Santa Barbara, who was able to help me in my investigations. I credit Dr. Tomas as one of the people that inspired me to go on to graduate school. He was a great influence in my life, and I will greatly miss him. End quote. I will remember and treasure deeply what I have learned and gained from Rudolfo. And like Rosa, I will to miss him deeply. Thank you.